Today I wanted to talk about makeup brushes, or at least just talk about the sets that I use and what I like about them and all that kind of good stuff. I'm not going to get into a lot of detail about every single brush. I'm not going to show you every single brush. That's just going to be too long, too boring. If you want to see specific, functions of brushes and what kind of brushes to get, there's tons of YouTube videos out there. Just do a search on it and you'll get those tutorials. I just kind of want to give you like a basic rundown and a basic overall review of the brushes that I use. The first thing that I wanted to talk about is that there are a lot of great brushes out there. I mean, we all know and hear about MAC being the shiz of the makeup brush world. And in my opinion, I think that regardless if they're like the best brushes out there, I do think that they're overpriced. I really do. I don't think that there's any reason why you can't get some really great brushes to give you the same exact functionality as the MAC brushes at a much lower price. Even when I was making a very, very good salary, I wouldn't buy MAC brushes. They're just overpriced. But, if you use them, great. If more power to you. I don't deny you that or take that away from you. So I know they are good brushes. But there's definitely a lot of other great stuff out there. I know some people have done some reviews on Sonia Kashuk brushes and say they really like them, and that's, affordable at Target. There's Coastal Scents that they have some really great brushes as well. Very, very, very affordable. And there's even Sigma, which has done pretty much a lot of MAC dupes, and they're much more affordable than MAC. So, and I hear really rave reviews about those. So, myself, I really went the ghetto route. Hey, I went really cheap. I actually bought my brush sets from sellers on eBay from China. So I took a risk because I thought, well, let me just see, if these are any good or not. So I'm going to talk about those. The first set that I got is the Pupa. I think that's how you pronounce it, is Pupa. It has Pupa stamped on them. And I know, forgive me folks, this camera's really bad. It does not focus when I put something up really close. I'm really sorry about that. But anyway, I got a 28 brush set, 28. Came in this really nice case where you can, wrap it up and stuff like that. And let me just unroll it and you can see how huge this thing is. Look at this sucker. Holds lots of brushes, got the flap. And you can roll it up if you like to do the roll up and stuff. So let's get right into it. And again, I'm not going to get into every brush set or every single brush. I'm just going to kind of show you some general things. Here's all the face brushes that I got with the set. We got a nice fluffy face brush, and look at this thing. It's gigantor. Huge, huge. Here's another one. It's not as big, so you can see the difference there. What else? We got a blush brush, foundation paddle brush, a contouring angle brush, which I really love. I love all of these. These are really great. They also gave me a really big, gigantor, fluffy fan brush. Look at this thing. It's like really thick. Normally fan brushes are very delicate, the ones I've seen. So look at that. Look at that in comparison. Look how thin and thick. I'm not quite sure. This is the only brush that I haven't really used and thought of a good use for. So you could do Fallout, but it's too kind of fluffy for that, I think. You guys, the rest of these, ooh, I got quite a few here. Look at that. Look at that. Tons of brushes, tons. We've got shader brushes, like tons of eyeshadow brushes. And forgive me, all my brushes are dirty. But tons of shadow brushes, some big ones, big thick plump ones, big fatties, little teeny tiny ones. So like when you get into that inner eye area and stuff, look how tiny that is. They gave me a smudger brush, like a little smudger brush. And it's not the sponge applicator, it's actually a smudger brush, or sponge, whatever you call it. Some angle brushes, some lip brushes, some even with like the little cover, which I really love. And then you can put it on the end to make it long. Eyeliner brushes, different kinds of those. Traditional spoolie, the traditional eyebrow comb brush combo. But tons and tons, you guys. And I have to say that I really like this set. I really, really like it. I've been very happy with it. I ordered this a little while back, so I've been using them and just love them. Look at all these brushes, you guys. Look at that. Tons, tons. I definitely recommend this set, especially if you're a beginner and you want just kind of a very affordable brush set and you don't want to have to buy one brush at a time. Maybe, you just want to get a whole bunch of them. I would go this route. The shipping for this I thought was a little bit pricey. It was $16 or $17, but I really wanted the set. I know they come in different size sets, so you can get less brushes or more brushes, I think they also came in different colors. I'm not sure I'm remembering that. What else? When I washed the brushes, there was minimal shedding, and there was a little bit of dye coming out on some of them, but again, nothing that's, out of the ordinary compared to it's pretty common with even really good brushes like MAC that you are going to get some shedding and, things of that nature. So, but I've been really, really happy with them. I think they're great. And I think the seller threw in a couple of freebies, eye pigments or something. I can't remember now. But that's it on the Pupa brushes. I also have a couple of Sigma brushes. I got the SS224, which is an eyeshadow shader, and the SS187, which is the foundation stippling brush, liquid foundation stippling brush, which I really like. And these are dupes of the MAC ones in the same numbers. So the stippler brush does shed a little bit, and it's more of kind of like a breakage. Like I noticed the black bristles, I'll find little broken pieces. So I know the Coastal Scents one version of this sheds a lot from the reviews I've seen. So, but I really do like them. The only thing I don't like about the stippler brush is the handle is so long. I lean in really close to the mirror to stipple my foundation, and so the handle keeps bumping into the mirror. So I don't know. I did get another brush set that I ordered from a different seller in China, and it was a really cheap brush set. It was an 18-piece, and it had no brand name or anything like that, but I ordered it because I honestly, and this is going to sound so shallow, I fell in love with the light purple handles, like the lavender. I'm such a dork, I know, but I loved it. I just loved it. I do use these. I don't recommend them, for a good brush set. I recommend the other set, the Pupas. But I do use these, though. I do use this as my blush brush. It's kind of like an angled blush brush. Very soft. Love it. I do use the tiny fan, the delicate. It's very soft and delicate, and I use that for fallout. The eyeshadow brushes are not very good for eyeshadow. I don't use any of them for eyeshadows. They're just too flat, too thin. Too soft to really pick up eyeshadow well. They pick it up, but it just does not go on well. But I do use them, and I have a different use for them because they're they kind of remind me of like a mini paddle foundation brush, like little tiny ones. And so I'll use them for like concealer, or I'll use them for cream items on my eyes, like the Potion primer, eyeshadow primer on my lids, or the NYX eye pencils, any kind of creamy stuff to blend out. So I do put use to these. I just, for a good set, I wouldn't recommend them. I would recommend the Pupa set. And I think the seller threw in a couple of freebies too. Shipping was pretty quick. And these also came in a case of their own as well. A little magnetic, snappy thing. It's like a light purple. And this set actually came in like tons of different colors. They had such an adorable pink set of these. They were gorgeous. And they're very, very soft. None of them shed, none of them bled, nothing. None of them have ever shed. I was surprised by that, but since they're so cheap. But that's it. That's kind of my review. I know I kind of rushed through it, but I didn't want to, like I said, bore you and all that. And I want to keep the video under 10 minutes. But that's it. My suggestion is to